All right, my peoples. This is this is our 9/11 nightmare part two. Pick up where I left off with this wonderful story of death. Poor people. I feel I'd like to give all the families of the people that died my condolences. You know, you know, and you're gonna have your retribution. Trust and believe in that one. Don't worry. Every little single person that was involved in that, which I believe were Israeli soldiers, were some of the fake repairmen that were in there placing all these charges. You wait till we get a hold of those people. What the Lord is gonna do to those people? Oh boy. Woo! I think Dimension 10 is bad. You just wait. If any of you dirtbags ever watch this, they probably won't because they think I'm just some crazy guy, like all the other morons. That's all right. Keep thinking that. So the dinosaurs come out and mush you all into little pancakes. Anyway, uh, so where was I at? I think I was talking about I mentioned the orbs. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. There's some kind of alien people. I don't know exactly who it is. One of the space rat termite scumbags. They created some, or it could have been our own people. Who knows? I mean, they got their own spaceships and shit. But it's some kind of metal that's alive or something, like some kind of organic metal something, and it can change. It's on YouTube. You don't believe me? Go look for yourself. I seen it, and they look like golden orbs, and then they can change into planes or whatever they want. And that's what I thought they were, but nah, I don't think they were, because there would have been some kind of. I don't think these orb things can just smash into a building and just disappear into thin air like the holograms did. You know, watch the video. I mean, the hologram flies right into the building and just completely disappears. It's gone. There's no way someone say, "Yeah, it totally blew up and there's nothing left." No, I'm not falling for that one. If you fall for that, you better go back to plane crash school or something. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I thought they were at first, but I don't think they were. I thought there was something out there, holograms. So that was that, and I told you that there's no way a building collapses. It collapses, it goes, doesn't go, like a controlled demolition, which is exactly what it was. And you could see when you watch the video of the demolition of the buildings, that you could see the little puffs. When the building was collapsing, you could see the little puffs of smoke, boom, 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 coming out the side of the building. Before the collapse, you could see where the charges were set, where they exploded, the puffs of smoke coming out. Also downstairs, you know. Plus, everybody heard explosions. I mean, anybody there, I tell you, we heard explosions. Oh yeah, we heard them. Anyway, and I commend some of the firemen who have, now tried to reveal to the world that, the truth. But, as Jerry Springer is more important, the way that goes. So, I think I might have already told you guys about this stuff, whatever. All right, NIST wrote the report of complete garbage that they wrote, and they said they never look for explosive evidence. They said The excuse they used was that no one was said to have heard explosions, which was complete nonsense. Everybody heard explosions. These sounds included primary and secondary explosions. The people said it sounded like gunfire, then other big explosions. Numerous people were covered with dust from these explosions, and they found all kinds of thermite dust and thermite chips, and actually unexploded thermite they found. Um, you know, they did it to create only, yeah, I already told you about that, to create terrorist organizations and make up this imaginary Al Qaeda that they made up. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys know, but Osama bin Laden actually lived in Washington or somewhere, or wherever he lived, but they found out where he lived. That's not even, he's like an American or whatever he is. He hangs around the elite people. And he goes to parties with them. And I mean, it's right on YouTube, but I see it for myself. I mean, he's just one of their little, what do I call those people? Oh, false flag actors. He's a false flag actor, just like the people in Sandy Hook. You know those people at Sandy Hook that they used over there? That some of those same people they used at the Boston bombing. That same lady, one of the ladies, they show her at the Boston bombing. Oh yeah, blowing up, it's terrible. They're just actors, my children. That's it. Actors that they took from one of these pods that Hollywood uses. Actually, in the town I grew up, I believe there's some people that I knew when I was young that actually are now actor people and actress people. Of course, they go by a different name and shit, but they look familiar to me. I picked out a couple of them, but I can't right now, at the top of my head, I can't think who they were. But yeah, they're actors. They're false flag actors. And you got the final warning coming today. I'm gonna do the final warning today, and that's it. That's the last warning. There's no more warnings. There's no more. Because I'll repeat. I already gave the order to release the cone of power, and the Lord overrode my decision. I guess he wants to give the people one last chance to come to their senses. He's endlessly forgiving. I mean, I'm not. I'm not going to forgive you. Crazy? I'm not going to forgive. I'm not going to be like him. I'm not him. New ball game. New ball game. I'm not Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer. Okay? A new ball game. So, and I'll have full access to your dumb dimension too. Believe me. We're coming there anytime I want. Anytime I feel like. Right in there. If I come amongst you, I see even one homeless person. Even one. Heads will roll. Heads will roll. You're driving down the street, you see a homeless person, you better pull over and put him in your car and at least get him a motel room for a week or take him home or something. Give him some money, do something. No excuse for homelessness. No excuse. Fat ass Oprah Winfrey got $10 billion gazillion dollars. You think she helps some homeless people? I'm sure she probably did make some bullshit little donations or something. Like all the other ones I was telling you about, the donations. All them shits had alternative motives. That money didn't go where. Believe me, there's a lot of shit behind the scenes to those donations. I already investigated that shit. But anyways, let me keep going here. So, there's a lot of reasons for that. And I believe also one of the reasons was they really want to spark a revolution. They want you to rebel because that's their excuse to fully implement martial law and take your guns away. Right now, this is what they're thinking right now. Let me tell you what they're thinking right now. Right now, they're thinking, how can we take everybody's guns away without a huge revolution starting? That's what's going through their mind. How can we get the guns? I don't even know what they're worried about because I don't see a problem. They could just kill you people with no problem. I mean, what are you going to do? A whole army comes to your house. Even if you have an AK-47, how many of them you gonna kill before they kill you? A few. I mean, what do you think? One guy's gonna come to your house to put you in a concentration camp? Like 30, 40 of them are gonna come to your house. You're gonna be sitting there watching Jerry Springer, oh, eating some fucking Cheetos, and all of a sudden it's gonna kick in your door and drag your ass away. You're not gonna be sitting there at the window with the AK-47 just waiting. They come. No, you're not gonna be. They're gonna come at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping or whenever some. That's when they're gonna start. Some like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when everybody's sleeping. That's when they're gonna start rounding up you people. But yeah, that's what they think. How can we get their guns? So there's another thing I believe that the next false flag operation that they make is gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be a big one. You know, it's gonna be a big one, my children. I mean, it's gonna dwarf 9/11. It's gonna dwarf it. That's good. 9/11 is gonna be nothing compared to what they're gonna do next, because you know they got a lot in their bag of tricks, man. You know, and a great one would be initiate the eruption of Yosemite. I mean, that would just be perfect for them. I mean, that would be a perfect excuse to fully implement martial law. Perfect. You know, and there's a lot of other ones. That's just one of the things in their bag of tricks. All right, so the buildings have a tube structure inside the middle of the building. Okay, this is important. Listen to this. So it's actually 2 buildings. The towers are a building on the outside and actually build another building on the inside. There's no way that thing could have. There's no way, my child. There's no way. And the manager of the construction project, the big boss of the whole construction company that built those buildings, stated, "We built them in a way to able to withstand a Boeing 787 crashing directly into it. They built them with the idea in mind that maybe a plane might, by accident, crash into it. That's how they built them." I mean, so, back then they had 787. Now they got bigger planes. But anyways, he said it doesn't matter how big the plane is. It's not going to knock building over. Anyways, he said those buildings. He said, those buildings could probably should have been able to stand 3 or 4 planes crashing into them, and still stood there. So, and then they said that the plane went all the way into the building and crashed into the inner columns. And this is impossible for the reason is the lights in the lobby would have went out, and they didn't go out, and they were still on. So that's where all the electrical wiring is, right in the center there, probably in the elevator shafts or something. I don't know. I'm no electrician, but that's where they said the electrical wires were. And there's also reports that those Israeli scumbag douchebags that went in there and planted the charges, planted some in the. I mean, they were pretending to be elevator repairmen. They were working in the elevators and whatever they were doing over there. And, the people are like, where's all this dust coming from? There's dust all in with the building. When the people were working, I mean, they had to constantly clean their offices because the dust was just coming out of vents and everywhere. I mean, from probably drilling holes, to put the charges. I'm no demolition expert either, but I'm just taking a guess, really. But yeah, there was dust everywhere throughout the building. You can ask anybody everyone's dead, so you really can't ask anybody. But, some people survived. Anyways, yeah, so the lights, lights would have went out. So, and Jesse Ventura, my much-loved son, who I love so much, Jesse Ventura. Everybody in the whole world should be like Jesse Ventura. If everyone in the whole world was like Jesse Ventura, the world would be a different place. And he was a demolition expert, and he was in the military. And he was a trained SEAL demolition expert. And he said that it was a staged demolition, There was also listen to this part. There was a sub-level basement explosion. Now, you know where the explosion came from? I'll tell you where. I don't know if this thing might shut off again. It might end up with a part 3. Anyways, this is what happened. Back in the 70s, we developed these small nuclear bombs. Was it nuclear bomb? No, it's called something else. It's I don't know what the hell. What are these things called? I don't know. They're like little nuclear bombs. They're small. They're only you can't see, but they're not big. And they developed some like gun thing that shot the little missile. They're like little nuclear missile bombs, whatever. And this thing, it was like it's not something you hold. It's like a stand thing, and it would shoot it. Like the Nazis shot the U-2 rockets off, something like that, but it was smaller. And so they developed all these bombs. And what happened was they never used them. So what did they do? They gave them to Israel. And Israel scumbags had some of those in their little embassy over there. And those dirtbag Israeli demolition experts that planted all the charges brought one of those little bombs over there, and they attached it to the bottom of the Freon tank in the basement. And then when the thing blew up, it mixed with the Freon and created like some other even bigger explosion. That explosion, my children, shot all the way up through the building, out the roof, and he totally vaporized the antenna. You know the big antenna thing that was on top of the building? Just vaporized it. Gone. That's how powerful that shit was. And that's how they destroyed the central column with that nuclear device. That's what they did. That's how that shit fell down, because they could have put all the charges they want in there, and that thing probably still wouldn't have fell down. Maybe the outside might have been structurally damaged. And then let me tell you something else. When you looked at the debris from the demolition, remember the wall that was standing up there? That was the lobby wall, the part. They couldn't place charges there because the people would have seen it. So that's why that was stood there. That's why that stood up. So that just goes to show you how structurally sound the building was. I mean, hello, come on back to Jamaica. I mean, this is just terrible, man. Let's see what else I got here. And then these, I don't know if you guys remember, but if you look, some of the beams actually shot up in the air and went like this and shot into the other building. The other building there, buildings next door, whatever that building was. They showed the beams sticking out of the building. I mean, that's not how gravity works. Gravity don't shoot 10 million pound beams up in the air. I mean, come on. So they said that was, something to look at. And then, and then multi-ton beams they found 2 miles away from there. 2 miles. If a building that's said to collapse, how is it going to shoot a beam 2 miles away? Come on. I mean, it's just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So like I was going to say was that I think one of their thoughts was that this would actually spark a revolution. and then they could kill you all. Good excuse, you know. So anyways, but it didn't happen that way because, you know, Jerry Springer is more important, you know, and Steve Wilkos and Oprah Winfrey, and you know, it's more important to watch these shows, you know, because then you'll learn a real lot, you know, watching these shows, you know, and then you'll be well informed about, you know, Susie cheating on Joe, you know. Oh yeah, and then when you know when they brought the explosive into the building at 3 o'clock in the morning when nobody was around, it's on the camera. All these trucks pulling up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day, bringing the Israeli scumbag, douchebag workers, imaginary elevator guys in there with all their explosives for the whole world to see. It's right on the camera. And then, of course, you have Marvin Bush and Burt Walker, brother and cousin of George Bush, was in charge of security for the building. They were from Stratosec, which used to be called Securicom, which also has contracts with Dallas Airport and all the other airports where these so-called planes came from. Uh, and none of this was mentioned in the report, of course. I mean, you know, they wouldn't want to do that until they actually tell the truth. And that report was written by NIST, and let me tell you, all those people that work at NIST, guilty by association. So, your day of judgment is coming. Trust and believe in that one. So, what's I say? Oh yeah. So then they claimed that this imaginary person named Bin Laden, which was not even a real person, uh, that they hunted him down for all this time. They couldn't find him, and they just went over there to look for our relics and all that shit, of course. But you already know that. So and then well, all the other things, destabilize the region, take over the political structure, blah blah blah, impose sanctions on other neighboring countries, and all that good stuff that they love to do so much. Um, uh, some CNN reporter went to Afghanistan and was said to interview this imaginary Bin Laden person. And matter of fact, all those films of Bin Laden were not even filmed in Afghanistan. I don't know where they filmed them, but I don't even think it was in Afghanistan. Just like the films of the people on the moon, that was done in a studio. That wasn't done on the moon. It wasn't done on the moon. Done in a studio, my children. Oh shit! Because they couldn't show you all the structures that they got up there, and then people were like, "Oh, you know." So, and then as soon as the thing collapsed, they sent all these ding dongs in there to start cleaning up right away without no investigation or anything. Yeah, send it to China so nobody could investigate, and that's what they did. Send it right off to China. Shoot, immediately. Put it on a barge, send it out of here. How are you gonna make an investigation if the shit is in China? I mean, they didn't want any investigation. They wanted to clean up the evidence as soon as possible. That's what they did. Uh, then I wrote in memory, but I don't want. That's some information in there. I'm not gonna tell the people because they've been through enough already. Wasn't in an effort to hurt them or anything, but what's in there I already told you anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I give my condolences to all the people that died, you know, and you're gonna have your day of retribution. Trust and believe. That's the solid word of your friend. It's all worthy of prints right here. I'm telling you right now. All the people that died in 9/11, all the families of people that died in 9/11, you're going to have your day of retribution real soon. Not too much longer. You have to wait. Believe me. Do thorough investigation. Find out every last little person. Well, everyone's guilty by association. They're all guilty by association anyway, so I don't really have to investigate shit. You know, it's not. I already did my investigation, basically. It's not funny. I'm sorry. You know, I don't mean to laugh or anything. It's not. It's not funny at all. Very sad. You know, very sad. Yeah. Like I said, I think that was one of the reasons they did that. They thought that it might spark a revolution, and then they could kill you. Yeah, excuse them to kill you all. You know, which is what they want to do, kill you. But let me tell you something else.